Hello everybody and welcome to the Pocono Raceway for the 2025 NASCAR Xfinity Series Explore the Pocono Mountains 225 and the 16th race for our 2025 NASCAR Xfinity Series season here in NR2003 as we are green and underway from the tricky triangle with Sheldon Creed and Justin Allgaier leading us to the green flag here in the Pocono Mountains. Allgaier leads us into turn 1. There's some cars going down the track behind us and a crash already into turn 1. There's the 11. Josh Williams with huge damage. Williams Sawalich involved as well. As going to turn 1, Kyle C. got together with Williams, turns him head on into the outside wall, goes Williams Sawalich. Hard contact there. DeBenedetto, Smith Lee, Blaine Perkins catch the rebounding Williams car. They catch some damage. Anthony Alfredo also gets hit, but he saves it down the racetrack. But a hard crash here in Pocono. Going to take out Josh Williams and Williams Sawalich, two bubble drivers, out of this race early on the first lap, and that's just kind of been the way things have been going this year for Williams Sawalich, the 18 team. Just a lot of bad luck has cost them a lot of good finishes. So here we are on the restart. Allgaier, who was leading at the caution on the inside, Sheldon Creed on the outside. Now here comes Sheldon Creed to the race lead, and the 00 Road Ranger Ford for Haas Factory Team. Creed trying to make it to back-to-back championship fours here in our universe. Of course, last season won the back-to-back races, made it all the way to Phoenix, almost won the title, not quite, but now here comes that 17 of Chase Elliott, the 2020 Cup Series champion, trying to take the lead away, not quite able to make the pass as Sheldon Creed leads the way here in Pocono. But on lap 13, here comes the rookie of Taylor Gray in the 54. He will zoom by Sheldon Creed on the inside lane, and Taylor Gray leads here in Pocono, looking for his second win of his rookie year. As here we are now on lap 17, Gray trying to hold on, but now here comes the 17 on the outside. Chase Elliott surges to the race lead. The 2022 Pocono winner in real life is leading here in the NASCAR Xfinity Series after getting by Taylor Gray and Sheldon Creed. Now here we are on the last lap of stage 1. Chase Elliott has taken control of this race in this stage, looking pretty comfortable. He's got a whole bunch of like 7 lap cars here holding him up. He's got Jeremy Clements, Patrick Emmerling, JJ Yaley, Parker Retzloff, Matt DiBenedetto, Carson Ware, and more up there in front of him. He's trying to negotiate while holding on to the race lead as Sheldon Creed is gaining here on Elliott coming here into turn number 2 as Creed sends it in turn 2 and gets right to the back bumper of Chase Elliott. Creed almost stealing the stage win away here in turn 2. Elliott able to come down and block as they head for turn 3 for the final time here in this opening stage of racing. Looks like it is going to be the stage win for Chase Elliott and that Hendrick Motorsports number 17 team. As down the front straightaway, Chase Elliott will survive a late charge from Sheldon Creed, and Elliott wins stage 1 here in Pocono. Creed is second, Taylor Gray third. How about Ryan Sieg in fourth, followed by Sam Mayer in fifth, and Allgaier, Brandon Jones, Sammy Smith, Christian Eckes, and your points leader, Connor Zilich, round out the top 10. So Elliott wins stage 1 here in Pocono in the Xfinity Series. But a hard charge there from Sheldon Creed, just not quite able to do it. So here we are back underway in stage 2. Once again, it is Elliott and Creed the front row. Creed trying to get his first win of the season and lock himself into the playoffs. Of course, Chase Elliott trying to get his second win already, his second Xfinity start. Of course, he won at Darlington earlier this season, holding off Sammy Smith in that amazing photo finish. But Sheldon Creed with a brilliant restart flies right back into the race lead by Chase. Now caution's out on lap 37. Trouble for Jeremy Clements and Parker Retzloff here down the back straightaway. Brendan Poole looks like also involved. We just caught the end of it. My bad for missing the wreck. My apologies. But Jeremy Clements is done for the day. Parker Retzloff is heavily damaged, so I would assume he might be out as well. And they have a long way to go. But meanwhile, back to the front is Sheldon Creed having a very impressive start to this race here in Pocono. As we get back underway now on lap 42, it is Creed in the 39 of Ryan Sieg on the outside lane. Creed had a horrible restart. Great restart for Sieg and Brandon Jones as Ryan Sieg to the lead here in Pocono. This would be a huge win if Ryan Sieg could pull it off with a race. His troubles this season, the trouble behind him, a huge wreck. That's Ryan's brother, Kyle Sieg, around collecting Carson Ware. Chris Wright and your points leader, Connor Zilich, is involved. As Kyle Sieg cleared himself on Matt DiBenedetto, comes down the track nowhere for Carson Ware, Chris Wright to go. Both guys collect big damage, and then Zilich gets hit by Dawson Cram, and your points leader gets collected in this wreck at the back of the field. Zilich was just pitting, trying to play some strategy, and it ends up putting him in the middle of the Hornet's nest, and he gets collected. And that is some big implications there. Significant damage for the 88 of Zilich in this crash, collected by a couple of back markers, taking themselves out here in Pocono. As, yeah, Chris Wright's destroyed. He's done for the day. Carson Ware in the 35 as well. Fortunately for Zilich, he will still be in this race, but he does have some damage. So, yeah, out of the race, Chris Wright, Carson Ware, and Christian Eckes as well in the 16s. Now, these are 31 cars in this race on lap 47. As Sheldon Creed this time gets that preferred outside lane and gets the better restart. And Creed, once again, leading the way here in Pocono, in control, looking to bring home his first stage win of the season. And now here we are, the last lap of the stage. Taylor Gray to the inside of Brandon Jones for second here through turn 3. Doesn't look like he's going to have the momentum, but here comes Sheldon Creed to win stage 2 here in Pocono. First stage win of the year for Creed and his Haas Factory team, 00. Brandon Jones, Taylor Gray, Sam Mayer, Sammy Smith, the top 5, followed by Allgaier, Quaffle, Ryan Sieg, Jesse Love, and Daniel Dye, the top 10. So a great stage there for Junior Motorsports as well as Haas Factory team. Sheldon Creed picks up the stage 2 win here in Pocono. On to the third and final stage we go. So now here we are, getting back underway in the final stage of racing. 33 laps to go from the tricky triangle. Who's going to bring home the victory? Sheldon Creed alongside Brandon Jones for the lead. Behind them, you got Taylor Gray, Sammy Smith, Justin Allgaier trying to enter back in the conversation in that number 7. Battling Sieg for 5th, but it's Brandon Jones to the lead here in Pocono with a great restart, but caution is out already. Connor Zilich again. Your points leader gets turned by Patrick Emmerling, Harrison Burton, Sam Mayer also involved in this accident in turn 1 here. Pocono just 4, nearly 5 wide gone wrong. Huge hit for your points leader, Connor Zilich. That's going to be the end of the day for him. Emmerling, Harrison Burton also collects some damage in the melee, but that will take out your points leader, Connor Zilich, out of this race, which is huge, because that now gives the 7 of Justin Allgaier an opportunity to take the points lead here today, as Brandon Jones and Creed will remain the front rows. Get back underway now with just 28 laps to go in Pocono. Sheldon Creed, another phenomenal restart, easily going to be into the race lead here into turns 1 and 2. Creed having a very, very strong performance. Technically, he's well on his way to that first win of the season. Brandon Jones falls in line second, right ahead of Sammy Smith. And a big trouble behind us. It was a 21 of Austin Hill. Defending champion around, Chase Elliott is involved in the big one. Strikes in Pocono, 5, 6, 7 cars. Look out, ARCA brakes from Garrett Smithy at the end of a huge crash down the back straightaway here at Pocono. Josh Balicki just tags Chase Elliott, collecting Austin Hill. Elliott comes down, gets his get back on Balicki, and then nowhere for Dean Thompson, Anthony Alfredo to go. De Benedetto gets turned down to the accident. Big hit from Dawson Cram involved. And then, of course, Garrett Smithley coming in with the massive ARCA brakes late in this wreck, completely cleaning himself out. Yet Balicki just tagged Chase Elliott. That's what started this whole big pileup, collecting the 21 and more. And a race-changing wreck here in Pocono, as Austin Hill is your 2-time defending series champion. Elliott was your stage winner. Here's onboard with Garrett Smithley. Just does not lift. Full throttle into the hood of Matt De Benedetto. Vicious impact. Here's onboard with Balicki. He just came up the track and tagged Elliott, and then he thought he got by, but Chase Elliott spinning down the racetrack gets Balicki his karma. De Benedetto piles in, and up there Mason Massey also turned around. Here's on board with Dibby as he tries to get through the accident. He just gets tagged from behind and sent hard into the nose of Josh Balicki, and then destroyed by the full-speed ARCA braking Garrett Smithley. Now here's Mason Massey's view. See, he gets tagged by the 53 of J.J. Yaley, who already got turned down the racetrack. So there's a little second ring. Then Dean Thompson also pulls out the ARCA brakes onto J.J. Yaley. Alfredo is actually attempting to brake. Here's on board the 17 of Elliott, who just drives straight through the 26. No idea what he's doing. Here's on board with Brendan Poole, who caused some big damage from Austin Hill, and he was the one who sent De Benedetto wrecking down the racetrack. So after that, another 10 cars DNF out of this race. So as we get back underway here, with 22 laps to go. It is Creed and Brandon Jones still the dominant two forces in this race. Sheldon Creed once again clear for the race lead. Looking like he is well on his way to that victory. But the guys out of the race, Garrett Smithley ends up down in 31st. Then you got Dawson Cram, J.J. Yaley out. Chase Elliott, your stage 1 winner, will DNF in 27th. Dean Thompson's having a solid run. He's out in 25th. Alfredo 23rd. Austin Hill out in 22nd. Brendan Poole out of the race as well. But it's Sheldon Creed leading the way here in the final stage at Pocono after the big wreck completely changes the complexion of this race. So here we are now with just 2 laps to go in Pocono. Brandon Jones trying to make a move on the outside of Sheldon Creed. The 0-0 throws a big block on Jones going to turn 1. The 20 sends it in. Can Brandon Jones take the lead away from Sheldon Creed here at Pocono? Not quite. Creed able to clear Brandon Jones, a white flag in the air. Final lap presented by Credit One Bank here in Pocono for Sheldon Creed and Haas Factory Team as he makes his way through the tunnel turn here in turn 1 as he looks to find his way to victory lane for the first time and lock himself into the Xfinity Series playoffs for a 2nd consecutive season as he goes down the back straightaway. My correction, this now is the tunnel turn here in turn 2. As he makes his way through turn 2, heading towards turn 3, where Sheldon Creed looks to put a stamp on a dominant performance here today in Pocono and punch his ticket to the playoffs. It's just been a strong performance, and Creed finally going to get another win in his bank as down the front straightaway for the final time, Sheldon Creed wins at Pocono. Brandon Jones, Sammy Smith run out the podium, Ryan Sieg and Taylor Gray the top 5. Followed by Carson Quaffle, Justin Allgaier, Daniel Dye, Sam Mayer. The final spot in the top 10 goes to the rookie of Nick Sanchez for Big Machine Racing. But Creed wins it here in Pocono, his 3rd career win, leading 62 of 100 laps in a statement win to punch his ticket to the playoffs. So he no longer has to worry about points these final 10 races of the regular season until the Xfinity Series playoffs begin. So here are your final race results. Of course, Creed picks up the win. Great finishes, good point stays for Brandon Jones, Sammy Smith, Taylor Gray inside the top 5. How about Ryan Sieg picking up the fastest lap point in 4th position, having a much-needed great run for him. Allgaier will retake the points lead, finishing in 7th. Good point stays for Quaffle, Mayer, Nick Sanchez. Daniel Dye snags a top 10 finish. And, of course, the guys who survived, you got Jesse Love there 11th, Justin Bonsignor in 12th, and all the guys that unfortunately crashed out. Austin Hill, Alfredo, Chase Elliott, Connor Zilich, Christian Eckes, Sawalich, Williams, all collected. And the variety of incidents that we had throughout the day, lost some points, not the finishes they were looking for. So we see the updated Xfinity Series playoff grid. Of course, Creed, now the 8th driver to punch his ticket to the playoffs, now slots in 1 spot above Jesse Love, leaving 4 drivers in on points. Quaffle, Sammy Smith, and Brandon Jones still have very comfortable over a race to the cut line. Then Sam Mayer sits right on that bubble as he switches with William Sawalich, now up by 29 points over Sawalich for that final spot in the playoffs. Ryan Sieg up to 14th, still out by 42. And then Josh Williams, Harrison Burton, Jeb Burton, Alfredo on down. Pretty much got to start finding ways to win a race if they want to be in the playoffs come September, October. So huge win for Sheldon Creed here in Pocono. And as we end this episode, as always, I want to give a special shout out to my channel members. Thank you so much to DWR, JJ, Brendan Preen, and Jeremy Isley for your support. I really, really appreciate it. It means a lot to me. Helps this channel and I continue to grow, produce some awesome content. Now on our road towards 2,000 subscribers. So those of you that are watching this video and are not subscribed, please do subscribe. It's completely free. It only takes a couple of seconds, and I would really, really appreciate it. If you want to like the video, turn the notifications on. That would also be greatly appreciated. If you want to get your shout out here, just like these four, link to join as a channel member is in the description down below. And until next episode, where we will be in Atlanta next week, I hope you all have a good one.